All right, I see Anthony, Danielle, Nicole, Omar, Ralph, Ronald, Sammer are all in here. How you doing this evening, everyone? Okay, Ronald, I can see you. Anthony, we can see you as well. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Scott Mensch. I'm the Chief Academic Officer here at University of Fairfax. First, a big welcome to everyone for joining us here this evening. And I know you're probably excited to get started next week, as we are to have another session underway. Dr. Webb is going to run you through our platform Canvas. He's going to show you exactly what you're going to see come Monday whenever you get into the course room. Dr. Webb is also going to give you some important contact numbers tonight. Please take a screenshot of these or take a picture with your cell phone so you can put them in your cell phone later. I'm going to ask you now to please put my number and Dr. Webb's in your cell phone. So if you have questions, you can call us during the day. You can call us on the weekends if things come up. And as well, make sure you put the number for tech support in as well. So if you have technical issues and you can't log in, you always have access to that number in your cell phone. And I tell every student here at their first class, the first one's going to be the hardest class by far. And it has nothing to do with the content. It simply has to do with getting on a schedule that works for you. And every time I tell people this and they say, well, what should my schedule be? How you doing, Andrew? They say, well, what type of schedule would you recommend? And my answer is I can't recommend one because everyone's going to be a little bit different. But find a schedule that works for you and be proactive. And I always joke with people, I'm kind of like a dinosaur. I walk around all day with these little slivers of paper, and this one's blank. When I leave the house tomorrow, it's going to be full of stuff I have to do for the day. And then I have an Excel spreadsheet, and my Excel spreadsheet gets made every Sunday night. I have every day mapped out, and I don't go to bed until everything's marked off. As a student, I would recommend you get some type of system like that into place. So every day you can allot time to get your homework done. Right. Know that every Thursday night, your discussion board, your main discussion board post is going to be due. Know that every Sunday night, you have to have 2 comments in as well as your assignments or your quiz or your test, depending on which program you're in. That way, you always have that reference sheet and you have to do that before the weekends. Cannot stress this point enough. One thing that we pride ourselves on is being accessible. Right. If you have questions, just please reach out to us. Dr. Webb's also going to kind of go over the chain of command. And I know at this point, you've probably been working with Ralph or Nicole or Kat, somebody in admissions. And we just ask you if you have academic questions at this point, please come to us first. Because what's going to happen is if you go to Nicole, for instance, the first thing Nicole has to do is get a hold of me. All right, and it just takes longer for me to get back to you. I pick up my phone during the day. I pick it up on the weekends. I even pick it up in the evenings until probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So if you have questions, don't hesitate. Please get a hold of me. That's what we're here for. All right. Any questions at all before I hand it over to Dr. Webb? Okay, Dr. Webb, he's going to take you through what our live class is going to look like next week so you can see the Canvas platform. He's going to show you what our interactive synchronous chat room looks like, Zoom. And he's going to give you some more best practices, tips, important numbers, etc. That's really going to help you whenever you start in week 1. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Dr. Webb. And Dr. Webb, I think you already have presenter mode, so I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself as well so you're not hearing background data from me.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dr. Mensch. Okay. First, let me just go ahead and click the camera so you know that I'm really here. All right. Again, just as Dr. Mensch mentioned, welcome to the University of Fairfax. We're really excited about having you here with us to be part of our family. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a lot of material to cover today. So, so I hope you have a pencil and paper, pen available so you can kind of take some notes, all right? This session is also being recorded, so we'll also be able to give you the link to it as well. All right, let me just go ahead and start with my screen. Okay. So everybody should be able to see my screen at this time. And what I'm going to do is just
Yep, we can see it, Jim.
Okay. This is just going to be a quick highlight as far as with a few slides. And then we're going to jump right into the actual system that you're going to be using, the learning management system. First of all, the orientation. The way our terms are set up, we have It's an 8-week term program. And the way that these are broken up, they're broken up into 4 modules. Each module consists of 2 weeks. All right, so for module 1, that'll be weeks 1 and 2. Module 2, weeks 3 and 4. Module 3, weeks 4 and 5. Something doesn't sound right. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5 and 6. And then module 4, weeks 7 and 8. Okay. Kind of give you a snapshot of what within each module, this is what you're going to be looking at. Because remember, a module has 2 weeks. So you'll start off with during the first week, there'll be a discussion question. You know, and it's an interactive between you and your peers. You have to make that first initial post by Thursday, no later than Thursday, in order to get full credit. Once you make your post, then you'll have to respond to at least 2 of your peers during that week. The week starts on a Monday and it ends on a Sunday, okay? Now, you'll also have alternating between those weeks. Either you'll have, you'll have sync sessions. Everybody will be participating in these sync sessions. The sync sessions are on weeks 2, 4, 6, and 8, okay? On the even weeks during the course are going to be those sync sessions. On the alternating ones, the odd ones, you'll have either projects or quizzes that are going to be due, but you'll know depending on which course you're taking. We'll also give you a list of resources. You know, in the resources, there'll be like PowerPoints, videos, links to other things that you can, other good resources. Look at the way how the screen looks right here. When I get into Canvas, you're going to see the exact same setup within Canvas. Okay, again, as Dr. Minch and I just reminded you, you have to participate in all the discussion and sync sessions in order to get credit. Be aware of the due dates and keep up with all your coursework. Come up with a schedule, just as Dr. Minch shared with you his. Check your email regularly, because sometimes there'll be changes that take place, or there'll be some additional information that your faculty advisor, or your facilitator might be passing out to you. You'll also notice that there's going to be announcements out there. That's why you want to also watch those announcements, because in the announcements, they might be giving you some clues or some cues or some additional resources that might help you with your assignment for that week. Ask questions. I'm going to use the Canvas to show you the question, how to reach out for support, okay?
Jim, one more thing real quick. I wanted to jump in and tell students, first off, we completely understand that we're dealing with working professionals in the corporate environment. So with the sync sessions, if you cannot attend, if you're out of town working, or if there's something that is going to be a conflict, please let your faculty know beforehand. All right, we have some incredibly good faculty on board, and they understand that as well, and they will work with you to have an alternate time to meet you for those sync sessions. When you first get into class, Dr. Webb just talked about the announcements. You're going to see in the very first day when the sync session is, the date and the time in weeks 2, 4, 6, and 8. All right, so if there is a conflict, please just let myself or your faculty member know very early, so that way they can plan and work with you so you're not losing points there. Sorry, Jim, go ahead.
Okay. Now, next, student concerns, chain of command. Dr. Mitchell mentioned about a chain of command earlier. And now, and the purpose of this chain of command is, again, in order for us to provide you with the best, fastest service possible, we really need you to be able to reach out to us. Well, we ask that you first contact your instructor and see if you can work out whatever the concerns that you have or the questions you have. And if for some reason you don't feel satisfied with the response you had from your instructor, or you just feel that you still need to elevate it, then reach out to either Dr. Rowell or myself. We're the 2 deans here at the University of Fairfax. You'll find our telephone numbers are here, and it's also going to be in the Canvas when I take you to Canvas. Then I ask that last but not least, if we're not able to satisfy your needs, then go ahead and reach out to Dr. Minch. Because Dr. Minch, he's the chief academic advisor, and we try our best to make sure we can resolve any issues before it has to get elevated to him. But if you're still not satisfied with any of the response you got from either myself or Dr. Rao, then you go ahead, by all means, reach out to Dr. Minch. Just a snapshot of some of our past graduates. Now, any questions? I see one question. Are the discussion topics each week thread, type-based, or voice live? Discussions are going to be thread. It's asynchronous. Okay, this webinar is specific to CISP course, starting on Monday. Is that correct? This webinar is specific. Which webinar are you referring? You told me the one that was announced on Facebook? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, the guys, and you'll notice it, and it has all their credentials and stuff on there. These guys are from, if I'm not mistaken, SAIC, I think. Can't remember off the top of my head. But that's a very good question that Sam's asking. See, one of the things that we also do here at the University of Fairfax is we reach out to industry and the professionals and get in some, top quality speakers to come in like once a month and to do these webinars for us. And then they're bringing in their knowledge, talents, kind of giving you a lay as far as what you can anticipate in the future. You can ask questions. I mean, it's extremely engaging, and it kind of puts you on the cutting edge of technology. Okay, I see all that. Let me scroll down. No, the one you're doing now. The snapshot, are we all getting together live at the end? Yeah, we're getting together live now. As far as the way how I do these, this webinar is interactive. Please feel free at any time to, ask a question. And well, yes, that's not a good idea. I was going to unmute everybody just to see if you had any other questions, but no, that's not a good idea. Let me not do that. All right, but let me unmute Dr. Minch.
Dr. Rupp, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, Sam, go ahead.
This could be a financial, yeah, someone.
Sam, hold on, let me mute everybody else and bring you in. Okay, go ahead, Sam, I'm sorry.
Yes, my question could be related to, is related to finances. My work is paying for my tuition, and the paperwork is not 100% done. So this could be a question for Kat, but I'm gonna shoot in the dark, see if you can give me an answer here. Is it possible to maybe out of my pocket to basically pay a deposit or a portion of the tuition to get enrolled? Make sure that I don't miss the starting date of May 7th.
Yeah, this is Dr. Mensch. That is definitely a Kat question, and she will be able to answer that. And I believe she'll be in at 9 a.m. Who's asking that question?
This is Sam Palaman.
Okay, Sam. I'm going to send her an email right now, and I'm going to ask her what you just asked me. So she'll get back to you via email or call in the morning.
Okay.
I would assume so, but again, we just run everything academics. That's not in our wheelhouse. But I will definitely reach out to her tonight so she's in contact with you in the AM.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the next part of this presentation. Now, the next part of the presentation, we're going to be going now into Canvas, the actual system we're using. And to get there, all you have to do is we'll go into our normal portal, and you'll see in the portal right up at the top it says Canvas. You click on there and we're now in Canvas. You'll go ahead and put in your login and password, Now, the next screen you're going to see, it'll automatically come to you what's called your dashboard. This is just so happens to be what my dashboard looks like right now. Now, first, I'll start off on the left-hand side. We'll go down to all the different icons. But I have to, before I do that, I'll tell you what, first let me open up a course. That way I can change it to student view where it'll really look like exactly what you're going to see. All right. So from here, I can go into student view. Now, this is exactly what your screen is going to look like when you go in. Oh, Nicole's also responded and said that he can do a payment plan. He can, yes. Okay. So Sam, if you look on the side, you'll see that Nicole responded back as far as you can do a payment plan. But give them a call in the morning and get all the details. Great. Okay. On the left-hand banner, you know, you'll have a thing as far as says accounts. And then here you can, you know, as far as for your profile. Oh, the reason why it aired out on me is because I'm in student view. Let me just leave student view just for a minute and come to mine so I can do that. Okay. You'll see you'll have settings as far as for your profile where you can set up, you know, things such as your contact information, your biography, different links that are of relevance to you, any files that you're providing to people that come in and look at your stuff, settings, general settings, whatever name that you want to use as your full name and how it's going to be displayed. One thing that's really important is to make sure you have the right time zone as far as where you're located. Because with some of these things, what it'll do is when these events occur, you want it to be displayed in your current time zone. You know, we have students from all over the United States and all over the world, international students as well. So you want to make sure that you have your time zone properly set. Okay, and this way you'll edit your settings over here. Okay. These will not be available to you. Okay. So that's pretty much what you have in settings. ePortfolios is your own personal portfolio as far as things that you want to save and things that you're just, you know, papers that you find that you have done that you think are really, you know, good. You know, it kind of gives you a listing as far as what all the kind of things you can put in your ePortfolio. Just things you want to remember, things you want to keep, things you want to share with your friends. You can do there. Okay. Next. Okay. You'll have now I can go back into student view. Now, back in student view, what you're going to see here, let me make it bigger for you. The way the thing is listed, okay, we went to the dashboard. We're in the courses now. And with your courses, it'll start off at home. This is your home screen. There's lots of ways to get to where you need to go with Canvas, which makes it very flexible. I'm going to walk you through some of the main things you're going to find in these courses, things such as the syllabus. When you click on the syllabus will kind of give you information regarding the course that you're taking, the course description, how many credit hours that course is worth, the name of the course ID, your instructor that's teaching that course, it'll give you their name, email address, their phone number, and when their office hours are. Now, their office hours is a time when you can always be able to know that you can be able to reach them without having to wait, you know, as far as they're going to be available for you. And all the faculty put out their office hours in the same manner. Okay. The course outcomes. Here's a list of the outcomes that we anticipate that you'll we anticipate that'll be outcomes from this course, which you should be able to learn, what you should be able to do, how you should be able to perform. The grade book is letting you know exactly for each one of these areas what the percentage of the overall course score will be. For instance, your quizzes are worth 24% of the grade, tests 32%, the sync session assignments are 20% of your overall grade. Participation discussions, that's 24% for a total of the 100%. Here's your letter grades, the scale for each one of those. And if you want to look at a grade point value, then you can also use these as well. So for an A, it's a 4.0, A minus a 3.67, so on and so forth. The textbooks. Is where the textbook that's going to be used for this course, to include, it gives you the ISBN. For this particular course, they're recommending both of these, the HTA manual as well as this particular text. Style guide, late assignment policy. For this one, the assignments that are 1 day late will be assessed a 10% late fee, penalty fee. Now, just as Dr. mentioned earlier, one thing to take in consideration that you can always do is you can work with your instructor. If you know that you have an event that's coming up and you won't be able to get your assignment in on time, well, for one, you can always work the assignment early, work it in advance. Especially like, for instance, if you know that you're going in 2 weeks from now, you and the family are going out on a particular outing, go ahead and work in advance and get those assignments turned in early. Or if something comes up at the last minute and you're working on your assignments, but you can see that you're not going to be able to get the assignment completed in time, and then contact that instructor and see if you can get some type of extension.
Yeah, one other thing that I recommend that students do there, let's just say, for instance, you're in week 2 and you're going to be out part of week 3. I always tell students, look ahead. You're not allowed to post early to the discussion board, but what you can do is you can look at the question, answer it, and don't post it, but email it to yourself. That way, whenever week 3 starts and you're on the road, all you have to do is copy and paste it in, and you're done in 5 minutes. So while you can't post early, you can always look ahead to see what's coming up as well.
Okay, and I see Sam is asking a question about the office hours. I'll show you how to, Omar, I'll show you how to get into those libraries. Sam, you're asking how do the office hours work? Can call the instructor or just email? Yep. Well, one, for office hours, you can just always, you'll go to their link as far as for their office hours, and it's a Zoom chat, and they're there. Another way is you can always email them, outside of the office hours. You can email your instructors or give them a call because you got their number and their email address, and just let them know that you'd like to chat with them. It's not like you have to wait until the date or in time of these office hours to reach out to talk with your instructor.
Yeah, and that's a really big one. Thanks, Dr. Webb. Do not wait. If you have a question, ask at any time. Faculty check email every 24 hours, and a lot of faculty are like me. They have Outlook. It's right on their phone. People know if they try to get a hold of me, usually you're going to hear back from me a couple of minutes later because it's coming right to my cell. So if you have questions, never hesitate, never wait. Just go ahead and ask that question. You have to make a phone call, even outside of office hours, try it. If they don't pick up, you can always follow up with an email, as Dr. Webb just alluded to.
The academic honesty and integrity. This is a very, very important. Academic honesty, this has to do more with the ensuring that you're going to give credit to somebody else's intellectual
yeah, what I usually say here is, make sure, give credit where credit's due. If somebody else has done research or published on that topic, just make sure that you're referencing that person. If you ever, an example, I always tell students, if you're doing a research paper and you say, studies have shown that 85% of all internal breaches are internal, that's great, but you just published a fact. You just stated a fact by putting that numeric number there. So you have to go out and tell us who said that. And if it's exactly what they said, just make sure you put it in quotes, and then you're letting us know in that paper who the author was. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see a whole bunch of factual information that is not in quotations, because what faculty have are different programs and different databases that your work gets submitted to, and it checks every submission, every PDF, every web page, and it lets us know where any matches might be coming from. And our goal is to see a 10% or less match in those reports, and also to see where that, whatever the number might be, 2, 3, 8% that was a match, that was properly cited.
Right. And so it was the intellectual property. It's what I was trying. It was on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't get it off. So yeah, if it's somebody else's intellectual property, give them credit. And I'm sure because again, you're all in either a master's or a doctor's program right now. You should be fully aware of what we're talking about in regards to copyright infringement and plagiarism. If you don't know what it is, then reach out to your faculty or your instructor, and they'll kind of help you. And also just read through the academic honesty and integrity. And again, we give you the definition clearly and as far as what it is. Dr. Minch?
And also, Dr. Webb, he's going to show you here in a couple of minutes the APA link in our library and in our help section. So if you're not sure exactly how to cite, a couple different avenues. Look in that APA link. It's going to tell you exactly how the site work and exactly how to build your reference page. And also, contact your faculty member. I publish throughout the year, and I have to do the same thing in my publications. So if you want a template, you're not really sure how you should cite, feel free to email me. I'll send you an old paper of mine, and at least you can see and kind of copy the syntax and the format of how you should be referencing an APA.
Okay. Then the discussion requirements. Again, this one's an error. I need to change that. It says initial post by Wednesday of each week. And Saturday, I got to change this one. It's Thursday and responses due by Sunday. We made a change on this just recently, and so I'll change that as far as discussion requirements. Make myself a note here. Okay, and then there's just a template as far as how the courses are laid out. But now let's get to the meat of it. That was our syllabus. Then we have the course schedule. I'm gonna show you a couple of things with this course schedule that you're gonna find beneficial. One, you'll find in your course schedule, it's gonna be laid out as far as, remember there's 4 modules and there's 2 weeks in each module. So therefore, it'll tell you where that week starts. It's gonna be starting on a Monday and it's gonna end on a Sunday, okay? And it's also gonna kind of tell you the topics that are gonna be discussed during that module. And what textbooks and slides and stuff are going to be used during that module. We'll also tell you during that module when the quiz is, the week 1 quiz for this particular course. It has a quiz during week 1 that's due on the 13th. And there's a discussion questions. The final discussion questions are due by the 13th. Remember, the initial one is due on that Thursday. And then it'll also tell you during that second week, you're going to have that sync session, which is going to be on the 18th. The sync session assignment is on the 18th. The actual sync session is on the 19th. For this particular one, is on the 19th of May at 10 Central. And there's also a week 2 quiz and a week 2 discussion. And these are due dates. Now, the same logic applies throughout this entire schedule, okay? Now, let me show you another way of checking your schedule. Now, it's not like this for all the courses, but on some of the courses like this. On some of the courses, what you'll also be able to do, you should be able to go into, again, there's so many ways of doing this. One, you can go into assignments, and they have it all laid out for you as far as the upcoming assignments. Okay. Another way how you can check what's due is you can go into syllabus. And when you go into syllabus, it lays it all out as far as, you know, which assignments are due when. Another way how you can check when everything is due is you can go into calendar. And within the calendar, it'll show you exactly what's due when. It'll also, even in the calendar, if you just click it, it'll also give you a little more detail again in regards to what that assignment is. So there's lots of ways. It's all a matter of what works best for you as far as how you're going to go about keeping track of what's due when. You've got a calendar there that you can use. You've got a syllabus, an actual syllabus that you can use. You've got the, if you just want to focus on just when the assignments are due, you know, just kind of make sure you're up on all your assignments, either a quiz, a discussion, or assignments. You can go into the assignments tab and it'll list them all out for you in order. I'll also tell you when they're due, how many points. Okay. Discussions. If you just wanted to look at only your discussions, you can go into the discussions section. And now let me tell you a little bit about the discussions. One, during the welcome, when that's pretty much for everybody kind of, you know, say hi to each other. Ask your instructor. Usually ask your instructor if there's a question you have for your instructor, and it's not really that you don't feel it's worth having to call him or her. You just want to just throw it out there, and you don't mind waiting 24 hours to get a response. Posting that discussion. All discussion boards look and or operate the exact same way. Here it kind of lays out, you know, if you have any questions related to, you know, respond to your instructor. To put it in there, all you do is you click on reply. Oh, here's a test one I already did. And good morning, Dr. Webb. I just want to say hello. Okay. And this is all it was just nothing more than you click in there. You've got a rich text editor, which you can use to type. And everything is good. And then you just say, post your reply. Okay? So that's how the discussion boards work. Let me see. I see Andrew is asking, oh, he's giving some updates. Okay. The APA manual is a great help to insurance. You choose citations. Yes, it is. Okay. So yeah, that's how you'll ask your instructor. Cyber Cafe, for the most part, Cyber Cafe is yours. This is an area that you can use to kind of just collaborate with your peers. It doesn't have to be necessarily school related. If you just want to, if you're having a conversation and just have some general conversation you just want to share with everybody, you know, you just go ahead and post in the Cyber Cafe. We try to keep it there so that we're not polluting up the other discussion boards with non-school related discussions, okay? If you got something that's non-school related, it does not really apply. Like for during module 1, week 1, that discussion board, they're asking us, it says, using outsourced security personnel, what types of threats might this pose for an organization? What controls can be used to mitigate these threats? Now, suppose you had something you wanted to put out that something that you saw in the news or something you thought was interesting, but it doesn't relate to this, post it in the Cyber Cafe, okay? And then therefore it doesn't pollute up or get people off topic within our weekly discussions. Okay.
Dr. Webb, one thing I just thought about real quickly here, with the Ask Your Instructor area in the discussion board, I believe everyone can see those postings. So if you have a private message for your faculty member, please make sure to email him or her with that question, because if you put it in that open forum area, it's fair game. Everyone can see it. So if it's anything private, please make sure you keep it private via email.
Yes, and that's a very, very good point. Yeah, nothing personal do you want to put in Ask Your Instructor. because everybody will see that. So, and that's how your discussion boards work. Real simple. Next, grades. The grades, when your instructor grades your assignments, you'll be able to come into your grade book and you'll be able to see your score. I don't have any scores in there, but you'll see your score, and you can click on, because their attachments are in there, and you'll be able to see all the details to include if they have any attachments. The attachments will be sitting over here to the side. Next, Pages is something I don't think you're going to be using at this time. On some courses, depending on the course, it might even be grayed out. Files also. Files are just additional files. They're all the files that are in that course. If for some reason when you click on a file that's not working, you could probably come here to Files and be able to pick it up. Probably shouldn't need that much. Oh, we already talked about syllabus. Here's your syllabus. Quizzes. If all you want to do is see quizzes and exams, you just click here, and now all your quizzes and exams will come up. Okay. Next, modules. Modules looks just like home, but it's broken down into your modules. But it looks the same way your home screen would. Here you can focus on the modules. We're going to go through these modules here in a few seconds. Okay. Now, another thing that's real important is this ProctorU. We use ProctorU because what we have to do is, it is required. Oh, something went wrong. Let me leave student view for a second, just so you can bring ProctorU up using my credentials. Okay. What ProctorU is for is we are required by regulation to be able to validate that you're on the other side of that screen that is really you. And so we use the system called ProctorU to do that. You'll upload your credentials, and based on that, we'll then be able to validate you on the other side by having you turn on your camera. So just starting off, you're going to have to create your own account. So it'll say yes, and you log in, fill out a few screens, and you'll have your ProctorU account. Okay, now let's go through. Okay, we're going to do the course schedule. Next, instructions. Things such as participating in discussions. Here we'll give you a little more information as far as how often you need to post. Discussion posts give you an opportunity to collaborate with your peers. You're expected to log in at least 3 times each week on different days. And by the end of the time, it'll be locked. And remember, your discussions, the initial discussion will be on Thursday, and the last discussion will be on that Sunday. Okay. Then we have a discussion board rubric. This is again just what I was just explaining, but this is the rubric that we'll use. In other words, this is the criteria we use for grading to make sure that you met the discussion board requirements. 1, these are important. You must post on that assigned week. You cannot work ahead. Just as Dr. mentioned earlier, if you know you're not going to be available, it's not like you can post all your discussion points or your discussion threads in advance. You have to wait until at least that Monday before you can post for that week. Next, remember the initial has to be done by Thursday, but there's nothing wrong with posting it by that Monday, as long as it's during that week. The main post is due by Thursday of each week, and then you have 2 additional that are due in by Sunday. The main post must thoroughly address the proposed discussion question in order to receive full credit. When you post in a discussion, you can't just post "good job" or "I agree" or "I liked your post." You know, what you need to do is it needs to be something that's going to carry on the conversation. It's got to be substantial. And if you disagree with what somebody said, you can't just say, I disagree. Give your rationale why. It's very important that we stay professional within these discussion boards. We can agree to disagree, between your peers. And even sometimes you'll see even the faculty, when we engage with you as well, there's nothing wrong if you disagree with an opinion that we make. Just state why you disagree with it. Provide, what I ask that you also do is to provide some type of peer-reviewed or scholarly article to substantiate and support your claim as to why you feel this way. Okay. Next, sync session. This just kind of lays out to you as far as, again, we have the 4 mandatory sync sessions. We'll be using the collaboration tool called Zoom. And our sync sessions, there's 4 of them. Weeks 2, 4, 6, and 8. Yes, Andrew, the Cyber Cafe is when you have a moment. Yeah, okay. You'll find Cyber Cafe in your discussions area. So you need to go here to the tab where it says discussions. That's one way to get there. And here's Cyber Cafe. Okay. So that was about the sync. Help. This is where you'll find all your help for this particular course. The Student Resource Center. And when you click there, it takes you right here to the same Student Resource Center you would have found had you been in the portal. The University of Fairfax portal looks the same way, as you can see. But we're now just giving you a mini version of it. And you can go in here. You can check textbooks, Canvas how-tos, tech support. This is very important as far as like if you need some tech support and these other areas, okay? All right. Administrative support. If you need help with things such as, like as Dr. mentioned during the beginning of this webinar, that if you need administrative support, that's where you'll be contacting Nicole, Kat, the folks down there. And that's for things such as attendance, financial aid, textbooks, registration, schedule. And they say here, for help with financial aid and other student services, please dial this number, select option 2. Or you can email online student services at an.edu. I see. Okay, Sam said I got it. Can you please show me where it is? Cyber Cafe? Yeah, Sam, the Cyber Cafe was under discussions. And when it comes up, here it is, Cyber Cafe. You just click on it and you're there. Click on reply, and that's where you have your correspondence.
Hey, Jim, I'm going to jump in for a quick second here. Again, I just wanted to welcome everyone to the university, and I apologize. I actually have a faculty meeting with all your faculty here starting in about 2 minutes, and I have to jump on with them. But again, Dr. Webb gave you my contact information. Again, don't hesitate. If you have questions, please be proactive. Get a hold of me. Even if something comes up Saturday, Sunday, I'm always available to answer any questions. Have a good night, everyone.
Okay. Do we need to get a student ID? No, you don't need a separate student ID. Matter of fact, I'm not, Sam, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think you're issued a student ID. I don't know. Nicole, can you answer that one?
Yes, they are issued student IDs. So what they will need to do is they need to email either Ralph or I a picture of themselves, and then we will send those pictures to Kat, and Kat will make sure their IDs are made. Now, there has been some issues with getting those IDs out because there were some issues with the software to get those made. I don't know if those issues have actually been taken care of, but yes, IDs are issued to each student. You get a welcome packet is what you receive. So there's a t-shirt, there's your ID, there's the letters and stuff like that within that welcome packet. So along with sending in your picture, you need to send in your shirt size, your picture, and things like that. So when you send us that email, just give us a list of your shirt size and everything along with that picture. So whoever your admissions representative is, you need to make sure you send that to them and email it to them.
Okay, thank you.
So if any of you guys have like a passport picture that you've used in the past for a passport, you can just send that to us, or whatever picture you want to use for your student ID.
Okay. Then the next thing you want to look at is because that's Nicole that was just speaking, and she's an administrative support for us. Next, you have frequently asked. Oh, okay. Do you have something else, Nicole?
Oh no, I didn't know if you were asking me a question. I couldn't hear you all that well. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then we have the frequently asked questions, and on the frequently asked questions, this is where you can go as far as, again, these are common questions that are oftentimes asked. What is my Canvas username and password? And if you need help as far as
usernames and passwords, we'll actually have those out to them. Whoever needs that information, make sure you email your admissions reps and we'll get those out to them as well.
Okay, so they don't have them yet?
Not everyone probably has them yet. So anyone that has not gotten if they have not gotten their enrollment agreements or their financial plans in, if they are not completely wrapped up as a student, they are not going to have that information yet. So anyone that is completely wrapped up, we will have that information out to them. So if you are fully wrapped up, we can get you that information first thing tomorrow. I know Ronald Clements asked me. I let him know I'm going to get that out to him first thing tomorrow morning. But we need anyone that needs that information. Please, I know my students, if you need that, email me first thing. You can email it to me now, and then I will make sure it's taken care of tomorrow morning to get you out that information to get you so you guys can get going and get into your portals and get your student accounts and everything set up.
Okay. Then I see Sam also had asked a question in regards to textbooks. Now the textbooks, digital. I know there some of them are digital. Nicole, are all the textbooks digital? Do you know?
So from my understanding, okay, we do not, as a university, have a bookstore. Okay, so they can purchase a digital. There should be a digital option for the books on the website. If they purchase them on the website, it's like $100, okay, per book. Now, most of our students, what they do is they either use Chegg, like you can go to Chegg.com, Barnes & Noble, or Amazon. And most of our students will rent those books. They don't plan on keeping them because it's a whole lot cheaper. We do not have a bookstore that we use that we source books from. Because, like I said, most of our students will rent their books, and it's just cheaper to go through those other sources that I named, Barnes & Noble, Chegg, Amazon, things like that. I personally, I attend with our sister university. I don't use the school's bookstore. I use Amazon. Yes, Chegg, I think it's Chegg.com, Chegg.com. Charlie Hotel Echo Golf Golf. No problem, Sam. And that's going to be some of your best resources. And of course, when you get your syllabus, all the material that you need is going to be outlined in your syllabus. And your faculty member usually will tell you whether or not if you need all those books or not.
Okay. All right, excellent. Okay. And again, there's some more just where I get my textbooks. Here's exactly what Nicole was just explaining to us. We get them from Amazon.
Yep, Amazon, Chegg, or Barnes & Noble.
Mm-hmm. Now, how can I get help with using the library? Here you go. Okay. So those are the frequently asked questions. And those are all under the help section. Now, in this particular course, you'll see also we have a section called class communications. And class communications for this particular course are all the different ways in which you can communicate. One, ask your instructor, and you know that's going to take you to that discussion board that we saw earlier. Okay. More things under class communications. You can check your email. Now, let's see. That automatically just, when you click that, it's going to take you right to your email account. I don't want to pull my email up here because then that means y'all be seeing my personal email. You don't need to see that. The Cyber Cafe. If you click here, that's going to take that discussion board again, as far as the Cyber Cafe. Now, the Zoom. Zoom is the collaboration tool that we use as far as to communicate. When you click on Zoom, and I have to be very careful when I do this, I really shouldn't have done that. Because right now I'm running a GoToMeeting and I'm also recording it. And now I'm just now trying to run Zoom on top of that. Let me just say with Zoom, your instructor, let me cancel that. It's trying to launch. Let me go back. Oh, good. It didn't blow up. Yeah. Normally, what we're using today is I'm using GoToMeeting as far as for us to have this collaboration session. Yeah, the Zoom is good, I too use it, but you don't want to use it while you're also using another collaboration tool on top of it. Right now, we've got GoToMeeting going. It's got all the communications things running, all that kind of stuff. And if you try to run a Zoom session within this GoToMeeting session, you're going to have problems. So, but anyways, so for the Zoom session, it's nothing more than, you'll see when you have your very first session with your instructor, your instructor will send you a link to the Zoom session, to that like that first sync session, or if you send your instructor an email and said you'd like to have a Zoom session with him or her in order to discuss some things, you want to show them what you're working on or whatever, and you'll need a tool in order to be able to share that document so him or her can see exactly what you see, or that you just need to help you to do something online, they'll send you a Zoom link. And with that Zoom link, okay, let me close this out. Okay, and now then with that Zoom link, they'll be able to come online and you'll be able to see each other and share screens and stuff like that. Now, these are more assessment criteria, more rubrics that we use. Again, you already saw the discussion board rubric earlier, as far as telling you how we're going to go about as far as grading your discussion boards, when it's due, Thursday, and all that kind of stuff. So that's a little redundant. The grading scale, I already showed you that. What's an A, a B, a C, and a D. The grading philosophy. Now, Turnitin external tool. Turnitin is, some of you might be familiar with a tool called SafeAssign. Some might be familiar with Turnitin. Turnitin is the tool that we use in order to check for plagiarism. You want to, before you submit your assignments, because you want to make sure that you check, have it go through and check to make sure that there's nothing in there that you're using from somebody else that you didn't cite. Okay, and then you just put in the inbox, assignment inbox, so you'll put whatever it is that you wanted to go ahead and run through and do the checks. Okay. Now, the actual modules, as we work through them, remember that very first slide, the PowerPoint slide I showed you? Again, it told you, and if you remember, it was broken down as far as here. It's going to be 2 weeks, discussion, assignment, sync, or project, and then your resources. Now, and that's how you say it. During, like, for instance, Module 1, weeks 1 and 2. For week 1, here's your discussion. You click here, it'll take you right to that discussion format. For the week 1 discussion, tells you how many points it's worth. You click right there, and you go ahead and answer whatever the discussion question is. Then After you do your week 1 discussion, there's going to be a week 1 quiz. You click there, it'll take you right to the quiz. Then for week 2, here's your discussion, here's your quiz. And remember, because this is an even week, week 2, there's your sync assignment. You'll also have, besides your sync assignment, you'll also have your sync session that you're going to have to participate in. Now, here are all the resources for Module 1. So you're using these same resources for your week 1 and week 2, all the resources. One thing I would like to point out is things such as like the PowerPoint slides. You'll get to the PowerPoint slide, it comes up. Now, what you can do, either you can read it on the screen here, which is a lot slower, or if you want, you can download it. If you go up right here to the left-hand side, you see it gives me the ability when that hand comes out, I can click there and then download this PowerPoint slide. You know, now there's 73 slides in there. I can see that by looking over here at the right-hand side of my screen, because I'm only on page 7 of 73. So, an example of the resources. Okay, now each week is broken out this exact same way, so there's no need in really for me to go through all those. Same thing. Week 3, week 4. Okay. All right. So at the end of this one, here's some of the University of Fairfax resources that you can click here, and it'll give you a list of the different resources that we have. This is the library and the resource services. Okay, and then your Student Resource Center. Same one like we saw earlier on the earlier tab. And Webliography. The purpose of the Webliography is a way that is just a lot of different links and stuff that, although they're not part of your assignment, that we find it could be very beneficial, or yeah, that could be very beneficial. So, okay. Now, for any questions? Okay. University affiliated with any other universities, online promoter. Okay. Yes, Nicole, what are the other universities we're affiliated with?
Well, our sister university, who is American National University, that is our sister university. But we're really a standalone university. Really, we are a separate entity from them. But we do have a sister university. In the Virginia core, Virginia, Ohio, West Virginia, it's American National. Kentucky is American National. And then you get into Tennessee, and it's National College.
Yeah, we also have an affiliation with the Defense Acquisition
University.
Well.
Yes.
And yeah, we were just down there about 2 weeks ago, signing that agreement with them.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that pretty much concludes our PhD dissertation defense is done on site or online.
They're going to be done
right now.
Yeah, those are done online. Your committee members will be there. And however, when you go to do that dissertation defense, there may be outside visitors. They're not allowed to ask questions. They're only allowed to be there to watch the topic at hand. And we asked some of our other partners that we do business with, we send it out to them so they can have their people come if they like the topic. But yeah, those are all held online. Oh, you're welcome, Andrew.
Okay. Well, everybody, again, I really do appreciate everybody participating today. This concludes today's orientation. If you have any questions or problems or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out and give either myself, Dr. Minch, or Dr. Rowell a call, or send us an email.
I think
Go ahead.
Sam says he has one more question.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Okay.
Sorry, Sam. I'm sorry if I missed the question above. You said something about repeating it. New Zealand University? No, that we have no universities overseas. I tell you what, Sam, that would be a lengthy one. Sam, do you want to set up a phone call with me tomorrow and I can go over that with you? Okay, Sam, if you want to call me tomorrow, just give me a call and I can even walk you through one step by step. That would take longer than just a couple seconds because I'd really like to go into detail to answer that one for you. And Sam, you have my number, so feel free to give me a call anytime tomorrow. Oh, you're very welcome. All right, everyone, again, have a good night.
All right.
Night.